All right, let's begin. Kia ora, my name is Chris Bridgman and I manage the Careers Centre here at the University of Canterbury, UC Careers. It's a real pleasure to welcome Emily O'Donnell and the team from Hilti, who are going to present to you this afternoon a session for the online STEM Careers Fair. The format is that they will do their presentation and then there'll be time available for questions at the end of the session. The session is being recorded and we would encourage you to well, it's not compulsory, but certainly show your faces on the screen if you can. It just makes it easier and more personal to Emily and the team. So I will now, and if during the course of the session you have any questions, you can put them into chat, and we will endeavour to try and get to those questions. So Emily, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you all a little bit virtually. Thank you for your time today. It's myself, Emily, and I'm with Sab and Kitty, so we're all from Hilti. We'll just run through a brief presentation, let you know what Hilti is, who we are, sort of at a global level, but then right down to New Zealand, and then give you a couple of examples of some career paths within engineering as well. Cool, so this is the three of us. So I'm on the left, so I'm the HR business partner. Then we have Kitty, she's our structural specification engineer at Hilti, and then Sab is technical marketing manager. So we'll deep dive into Kitty and Sab a little bit later, but for now, this is a little bit about me. So I've been with Hilti for 6 years. I came straight from university. I studied business and then came in at a customer service role, did that for a year. Was really a good experience to understand the whole business from the get-go. You know, you're working with every department, you're working with customers. Then I jumped into our Hilti store, which is our retail trade store, to understand the products and again have that face-to-face customer experience. Then I went into sales, where I did that for about 3.5 years, and I looked after our structural steel customers. And then I moved into a people management role where I looked after the customer service and Hilti store teams. So a team of about 12 people. I was, I think, 25 at the time, so a really good opportunity at quite a young age to manage a big team. And then through that found a passion for people and sort of kept leaning into that side of the role, the people development, the recruitment. So when this role came up, I naturally sort of took it with both hands. So we'll run through the Hilti corporate strategy, so at a high level, then a bit more about engineering, specifically a couple of career paths from Sab and Kitty, and then I'll run through as well some opportunities within Hilti, sort of at entry level for you guys to be aware of. We just have a quick video as well. I'm really hoping the sound comes through, so let me know.
People say that life is change, that change is inevitable and never easy. Yet progress is impossible without it. We've been changing for more than 75 years. Developing leading-edge products, technologies, software and services for the global construction industry. Helping our customers build faster, safer, greener and with more daring. We've helped build some of the world's greatest buildings and structures. Solved some of the most complex problems with amazing innovations created by dedicated people who see change as an opportunity to grow themselves and our business. We need change to fulfill our vision. Change fuels the way we've embraced diversity. Change drives us to outperform. Change has helped us become a global company. But then again, some things will never change. Like our commitment to build a better future. Like our ambition to deliver the best solution for our customers. Like our promise to care for and value our people. And to be one of the greatest places to work worldwide, paving new paths and creating ever-changing opportunities. So that when people say life is change, we say yes, it is, and feel ready for the challenge. Are you?
Cool. So just a little bit of an insight into us and kind of the core of what Hilti is, and that's always going to be innovation and leading that innovation as well. So again, a bit of a high level, but Hilti was founded in 1941 in Liechtenstein, so a really small country in Europe, and was founded by Martin Hilti, and it is still to this day family owned, which is pretty cool. We aim to be and are a partner of the professional construction industry. So we don't just want to be a supplier or engineering support. We want to be everything for them, and we want them to come to us for their whole business needs. We have more than 30,000 employees globally, and we operate in more than 120 countries. Our overall strategy, you can see at the top there, it's called Champion 2020. It was our aim working towards 2020, and we actually extended it further because it was really well aligned and still working well for us. Our foundation at the bottom there is a caring and performance oriented culture. So we want to be caring for our people, connected to each other, but we also want to be obviously results driven. We want to be successful in what we're doing every day. We have our 4 pillars there of operational excellence, high performing global team, having direct customer relationships, and product and service differentiation. Our overall strategy is sustainable value creation through leadership and differentiation. So by sustainable, we mean we want ongoing success, and we want to drive that through having differentiation in products and being the leaders in our industry. So our overall purpose is we want to passionately create enthusiastic customers and build a better future. So again, just reiterating, we really want to drive that market leadership, and we want to do that through having strong differentiation in what we offer to our customers. That's through innovation. 6% of our sales every year are reinvested back into R&D or research and development. We aim to have around 60 new products annually released, and we have nearly 1,500 team members based in the research and development team. This gives you a bit of an idea of the portfolio of the solutions that we offer. So on the left there, we have engineering. So we are involved with the design, specification, consulting, and we also offer software. Then within our product ranges, we have measuring, drilling, cutting, grinding, anchoring, fire stop, and then services as well. So services can it includes a lot of different areas. It includes engineering, obviously, but then we have repair, we have delivery and operations, we have training within our customers, and consulting work too. So we have a direct sales model. So you can see there, one of the pillars is that direct customer relationship. So we don't rely on building merchants or any other business holding our brand or holding our relationship for us. We take full ownership of that. And that means that globally we have more than 250,000 daily customer contacts. We do that through these 4 main channels. So account management, so our sales team and our field engineers, through our customer service team, our retail stores, and our e-business, so our website. We have a high-performing global team. So again, we have more than 30,000 people globally. That's made up of 127 different nationalities. We have 13 nationalities in top management and 65 at our headquarters. 24% of our team members are women, and 20% of our team leaders are women. We really work hard towards a strong culture, and it's the core of what Hilti values is our people and our culture. And I'm not sure if you'll be familiar with the Great Place to Work awards or certifications, but this is something that last year for 2021, we were really successful in globally. So we're 11th place globally, rated the best place to work, and 6th place within Europe. So that's from last year. We do an annual survey within our company, within each market, each country, to get feedback and get an engagement score. And so you can see some of the feedback there and some of the statistics. So 75% of people recommend Hilti is a great place to work. I think something that I personally hold really valuable is the bottom bit about successful people development. 79% of all leadership positions and 100% of top management are filled from within. So Hilti's really focused on people development, but also internal people development. And our priority is to get internal people as high as they'd like to go within the business. What we call the Hilti way is basically our culture and how we approach working together every day. So it's been obviously a daily build of our culture, but it's been over 30 years. So we do have regular training team camps. So we do these annually, and it's every team within the business is included, and there'd be a different theme every year. Mostly recently, it's probably been more focused around mental health, obviously because of COVID, but even prior to then, it's been a topic that's of rising concern. So we take this as an opportunity to take teams away together and really reconnect with themselves and each other. So they're really cool, really beneficial. We invest more than 10 million Swiss francs every year into our culture. We invest 18,500 working days every year. So that's to either the team camps or culture workshops, and top management are a role model in this space. And I think that's really because they come from within, they've worked their way up through Hilti, they know the culture, they are the culture. And then on the right-hand side there, you can see our 4 core values, which are integrity, courage, teamwork, and commitment. This is a bit about Hilti in our region. So in our Asia region, you can see the countries mapped out that are included with New Zealand. So we have our regional head office in Singapore. So that's who we report to here. Within the whole region, we have about 2,500 employees, and they're made up of all of those countries there. So Australia, India, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, and Vietnam. So a really diverse group of countries in both, culture, language, but also maturity of the market, differences in the construction market as well. So it's a really cool opportunity for us to all to collaborate really well, learn from each other. But yeah, so that's what we're made up of. And then this is us in New Zealand. There's a photo of us at one of our training days, I think last year. So we have 120 people in New Zealand. We have 20 nationalities within our New Zealand team. 35% of us are female. We have 42 account managers and 14 engineers. So a really strong proportion of our company is customer facing. We have 2 Hilti stores, and we did about 40 million in sales last year. I'll just do a little bit of a run through of how we approach people in our company. We have these 4 pillars that we focus on. So my contribution is target-based. So we like to have quickly set targets that align for both you as a person and your performance goals, but also the company's. And we aim to have, frequent feedback and conversations around this. Then development, we focus on strengths wherever possible, and we have development discussions to maintain leveraging those strengths so we can and filling any gaps if we need to. And this results in having really tangible development items that you're working on live throughout the year, rather than a stagnant kind of once a year conversation. We have a concept we call Hilti People Review. And basically 3 or 4 times a year, all team leaders and the whole executive management team as well get together, and we spend a couple of days talking about everybody in the company. So we run through every single person and basically collaborate and calibrate on how we can develop our people better, what our people need. And we walk away from those sessions with feedback, with next steps of how we can help our people develop further. And then reward. We always want to increase transparency and increase compensation, benefits, and just recognition as well as monetary, just that recognition, that good feeling that you've got a purpose behind what you're doing every day. Then we have a few benefits as well, just to show you what matters to us at Hilti. So we have 2 days a year where you can go and volunteer for something you're passionate about. Otherwise, we also organise events too. There's Southern Cross health insurance that is covered, and life insurance as well. You get a day off your birthday. We have a wellness subsidy up to $500 a year that could go towards a gym membership, but it could also go towards a sports club or something for your mental health as well. We have wellness rooms that we put in our office just to sort of enable that privacy. Returning mothers have a space they can breast pump if they needed, but we didn't have that before. And EAP services, so we have counselling that is free of charge through the business. This is obviously becoming more and more of a value in the last couple of years, and really encourage our company to use that. And then flexible work arrangements at this stage is pretty much a given, but obviously we like to work around our people and what they need. We also have a couple of employee-led groups. So we have something called Own It. This is structured from our people and focus on diversity and inclusion. And then we have a health and safety group as well. So this is just employee-led, people who are passionate about these topics and do this on top of their day-to-day jobs. Awesome, so that's a bit about the company, and now I'll run to Ketty, who will go into more of the engineering side of the business.
Thank you so much, Emily. So for you who are wondering how engineering fits into Hilti and where we are involved into the projects, we are pretty much involved throughout an entire construction project. We are involved in the designing stage of it through building relationship with owner, architect, with engineers, through our field engineers, specification engineers, and then we are involved into the building stage with the contractors, subcontractors, with our key project engineers, with our account managers, doing the procurement part of it, the delivery, construction, and handover. And then we are also taking care of the maintenance, repair, and different operations. So we have a traditional Hilti sales approach when it comes to dealing with the construction part of it, with the subcontractors and contractors, but we also want to do the upfront engineering with our engineering team, trying to make sure that we build a good relationship with our specifiers and trying to make sure that they understand our solution and they see the value in it. We cover a range of applications with services. So the top application for which you might be aware are the post-install anchors. So anchoring into concrete, anchoring into masonry and hollow core. We also have rebar solution. Strengthening is an application in New Zealand happening more and more. Concrete overlay as well. We have solution for facade, cast-in anchor channels, edge of slab fire stop. We have solution for composite construction, such as anchoring into con floor 60 and con floor 80, or shot fire shear connectors. We also have passive fire with our control joint and through penetration. So in terms of the services, we have lots of webinars, which you can find in our website. And we also do lots of seminars and trainings. And again, those are registered and you can find in our website as well. We have software. Most of them or almost all of them are free to use. And we also provide EJs and calculation for everything that falls outside of the standard. And it's like an alternative solution for the engineers. We help them find solutions in there. So we focus mainly on 6 functional areas when engaging with the construction industry. And those are quotes and approval, technical marketing, software and digital. We have an engineering services. We have construction project management through our key project engineers, and engineering execution with our field engineers and specification engineers. And here's my favorite slide. So we have a wide range of specialization in the engineering team in Hilti, New Zealand. I have to say that the team in New Zealand is small in comparison with the other markets in the region, but I can proudly show you that we are a team of 14 with 9 different nationalities and 9 different roles. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have been graduated, post-graduated, or even have PhD on civil engineering, structural engineering, mechanical, chemical, and also industrial engineering. And with Hilti, we're doing different roles, starting with the field engineer role, where we are divided into structural team, non-structural, generalist, E&I, and the main goal is to build a relationship with architects, with engineers, to be their first go-to whenever they need a solution, whenever they face challenges. So we're trying to make sure that they see the value in our products, and we're trying to make sure that all their questions are answered. We have our key project engineers who are based in all over New Zealand and who mainly work in the construction part of it, who mainly do the collaboration with the field engineers and the account managers, trying to make sure that everything that has been specified by our engineers and architects has been sent on site whenever it's needed. and installed properly according to all the standard and the guidelines. We have technical marketing management. We have Sab here who will explain more, but his job is like dealing more with the region and trying to make sure that we have a nice storyline for our solutions here in New Zealand, but also coaching the team and also sensing the market and making sure that we will have in New Zealand whatever will be needed for our engineers and architects. We also have codes and approvals, which is around making sure that the best practice and the latest research is considered in code development, but also representing Hilti in a lot of engineering societies and a lot of engineering groups that are in New Zealand. And we also have fire specialists. So it's a great team, a very diverse team in terms of roles, but also in terms of nationalities. It's a great team to work with. If we have a look into our career paths, okay. So my name is Katie and I'm originally from Albania. I was graduated there on civil engineering and I have a master's degree on structural engineering. I worked in Europe, in Albania and a little bit in Italy as a structural engineer for 3.5 years. And then almost 5 years ago, I moved to New Zealand, where I also worked for 3.5 years for different consultancies as a structural engineer. This is my second year that I have joined Hilti as a field. I joined Hilti as a field engineer. I love it so far. All my previous job prepared me to be where I am now. I'm enjoying it as someone who is outside of New Zealand. It helps me network. It helps me understand what all consultancies are doing. Instead of being focused in what one company is doing, now I deal with lots of consultancies. After 3 months of being in the role, my manager offered me to get a new role, which is that of a specification engineer, where I am basically taking care of the biggest account in New Zealand, such as you might have heard, Becca, Holmes, Jacobs, ACOM, Oricon, and so on. It's been great working with them. I've been involved in so many big projects with which maybe I wouldn't have the chance to work before, such as City Rail Link, which is one of the biggest projects happening in New Zealand so far, in hospitals in Dunedin, but also here in Auckland. Been involved trying to help the engineers understand our solutions, trying to help them educate them with the software and with all the challenges that they faced in relation to the standards and so on. The best thing about Hilti is the development plan. As soon as I joined here, there are continuous communication with my manager, trying to understand what my strengths are, trying to understand what I enjoy in the role and where would be my next move. We do have a plan. I think with my 2 years, I've understood that I really like to coach people, and that's why the field engineering manager is one of the roles that is in the pipeline for me. The plans that we have are actually for more than 5 years, and there is a lot of work done in the background for that. So we're all satisfied with what we're getting. I also enjoy to travel a lot. So in my line, it's also to travel a little bit in Australia and in Singapore, so in other parts of the region. And my next role would be area sales manager and a trade manager, if hopefully everything will go will go well. I'll do my best to represent Hilti, and I think my core values are also in line with Hilti core values, so the commitment, the courage, and that is why I joined this company. And yeah, I would recommend everyone to do some research, and if you have a question in the end, please feel free. And now I'll pass it to Sab.
Thanks, Kitty. So yeah, my name's Sab Welts. I am currently the technical marketing manager of Hilti New Zealand and the only Kiwi in the engineering team currently. So I've been with Hilti about 6.5 years now, so it feels like quite a while. So I joined out of Auckland University. I studied mechanical engineering, and I started as a technical customer service position. So it's like a back office engineer working with all of our technical products. And it also gave me some really cool exposure to the other departments in the company, working with the customer service team, such as understanding how the finance team operates, the logistics team, the repair center, all of these additional functions within the company. Because Hilti's got such a complex structure and covers so many different things throughout the a construction project, from tools to services to leasing out equipment to asset management. So it gave me a really cool exposure to understanding how such a complex structure all fits together and interacting with each of those. So that was my introduction to the company. And then naturally I moved on into the engineering team, more specifically as a field engineer, working as a non-structural field engineer. So this was covering some of the what we call non-structural elements, which is a lot of passive fire protection and a lot of post-installed fixings for like service supports. So I'm trying not to use too many acronyms. Mechanical, electrical, and plumbing support. So fixing that all onto the structure, and also making sure that where it goes through walls, the fire doesn't follow it through. So it's a lot of what we do, everything what we do is safety critical. So it really feels like we're making a difference by adding, these efficient, effective, and safer solutions for construction in general. So I ran that for a couple of years. I started that territory within New Zealand. So I got to, go out there and say hello to KCL, to Becker, to Holmes, the non-structural and fire teams, and run presentations, do seminars, deal with technical queries, work on alternative solutions. So it's a really cool way to get out there and get face to face with everyone in the construction industry, both from the engineers to where it actually gets onto the project itself. And through that process as well, we also launched what's a new way we basically initiated a new way to do fire protection for curtain wall facade. So if you ever see a big glass building, the facade will move separately to the structure itself. So we were the first company in New Zealand to have a flexible fire stop system to stop the fire coming up between the wall and the floor. If you remember the Grenfell, there was an international incident, and we supported in improving the construction industry to a safer system, which was a really cool thing. And we see that across most new construction now. So that was just as a field engineer. Then I moved on to what's called technical marketing. So technical marketing is a very broad portfolio of things that we cover. So it covers all the applications that we looked at before: passive fire protection, post-installed anchors, structural elements for composite decks. It covers post-install rebar, so concrete to concrete, reinforced concrete structures in itself. So it's really cool being able to work with the global team. So we've got 30,000 employees globally, and you can reach out to anyone at any point. The culture is really good in supporting people and really living that teamwork element, that if you need support from someone, there is an expert within the network that will help you. So that's one of the best things about Hilti. You can really push yourself to learn more and really make a difference in what you're doing. And technical marketing has been a great platform to do that, because they get to touch all of these engineering applications that we have in New Zealand, get to work with our awesome team, and support them on, running initiatives, going out to these big specifiers, the small specifiers, and everyone in between. So the Becker, the Holmes, and then the smaller ones, like probably wouldn't recognize them. So we run webinars. So over the course of my tenure as a technical marketing manager, I've run 50 plus webinars to the construction industry, servicing about 2,500 attendees throughout that period. all through technical topics that I've developed with the global and regional teams, as well as working directly with the market to understand what the needs are. What else? What else is technical marketing? It's a really cool position, and partway through that, it was, I believe, started last year. Our head of department left the country for family reasons, and I was put in charge of the team. So I was the youngest ever head of engineering at 27 years old, sitting on the executive board with about 11 people reporting to me directly. So I ran that for about 6 months, and it was an incredible experience, developing my people leadership skills, and seeing how people grow, adding to the team, recruiting new team members, and making business decisions about where we might need to invest or restructure the team itself going forward. So that was really cool. However, I had some ongoing projects with technical marketing that required me to switch back to that, and we hired someone else for head of engineering as a more permanent role. So going forward, I have been exposed to so many different parts of the business, and I really enjoy the having a project that you can start and implement into the construction industry, or implement into some area, and make it grow, and observe the change that you see in what you're doing. So product management's a really cool way to do that, and Hilti does offer those opportunities, both locally and globally, to have your own area of product and develop it technically and fit it to a market and improve the industry that you're working in. So there's a few photos here, some webinars, some applications we worked on. Me dressed up as a Jedi for our kickoff conference one year. A bit of hands-on, so we do get on site and do testing, working with other suppliers. There's one photo there from the top floor of the commercial bay. Not sure if I was allowed to have my phone out, but I did anyway. It's a really cool spot to be. And we've done seminars to contractors and engineers alike throughout. So yeah, I'm one of those, 75% that would recommend Hilti to someone joining, especially the engineering team.
Awesome. Thank you, Saab. Yeah, so a couple of good solid career plans, but also the future plan. So I think it's really cool being able to see their history with the company, but also where they're trying to go. So with Saab, the product management, I just want to dive a bit deeper, but there's a few roles that are really technical within that field. So we have a product manager for anchors, for direct fastening, and for pacifier. So those are three really engineering focused areas where we require an engineering background to go into them, but you also get the marketing focus as well. So quite interesting roles. But so that will be Saab's next step. I'll jump in now a bit more about your potential career with us. So what are your options? Firstly, I want to dive into our graduate program, because obviously this would be most relevant potentially. We call it the Outperformer program, and it's a global management development program. So it's not just a New Zealand focused program, it's global. The things to know are there's sort of three key things that we require before you are eligible. So it's a master's degree. So it could be in engineering, economics, finance, across the board. Obviously for you it might be engineering. Then be fluent in English, but also one other language. And then also have had international experience of some kind. So whether that's you working overseas for a few months, doing a semester abroad, those are the three things we're really looking for candidates for this program. Obviously, because of COVID, the last couple of years, we're a bit more flexible on the studying abroad because it hasn't been as easy. But we're really looking for those world-minded people to go into this global program. So we have this going at all times. I'm always looking for people to be a part of this. What it means is you'd go through the process locally. We'd get interviewed by myself, but then also executive management members before also getting interviewed by Singapore, by our talent team there. If you get through to the assessment centre, we will send you to Singapore, where you have a couple of days where you're assessed by all the general managers of the Asian region. So all the general managers are involved, as is the whole talent team in Singapore. You do a case study, an interview, and a role play. And then if you get through, you can see the bottom there is what it looks like. So you'd be an account manager for the first year within New Zealand. So that's sales focused. Then you'd move into an operational project within New Zealand for another 3 months. Then you'd move to Singapore, where you'd do a strategic project, so more on the marketing side, for 6 months. And then you'd move out of our region altogether for another project. So that could be America or Europe, it could be anywhere in the world. Throughout this, you're also going to go through a business development program within Switzerland. You also are part of a program to build houses in Bosnia. So there's a lot of things happening. It's an incredible program. And the aim is by the end of sort of the 2 to 3 years, you should be settling in executive management somewhere in the world. So it's a really fast track leadership program, and something to have on your radar if that's of interest to you. Otherwise, if you're not interested in doing a master's degree and you're just interested in what could be an entry-level role into Hilti, these are the 4 sort of areas that are really open to entry-level and grads. So we have field engineering roles. This is what both Kitty and Saba have mentioned already that they've done in the past. So you can come into that as a graduate. An account manager, so that's a sales role, but it's a technical role as well. I've done it in the past with no technical background, but if you go into it with an engineering background, you're going to be set up to succeed a lot easier than I was, and be a lot more asset to your customers instantly. And then we have business analyst roles and also logistics coordinator. So both of those I know aren't directly engineering focused, but also use the same parts of the brain. And we have a lot of engineering or ex-engineering people who move into business analyst or logistics roles as well. So yeah, those 4 are kind of the key ones. Obviously there's more opportunities, especially overseas, but locally those are probably our top 4. Otherwise, yeah, that's all from us. Would love any questions if anybody has any.
Yeah, hi. Those roles open yet? Those last 4 on that previous slide?
No, they're not open right now, but we have pretty consistent vacancies or movements within the top 2. So there's lots of people that develop out of their field engineer or account management roles. These 2 probably not as frequently, but the top 2, yeah, we'd have opportunities quite frequently.
So just keep an eye on those and they'll pop up sort of.
Yeah, definitely. Or you can reach out directly to myself as well. I really enjoy meeting people before there's a vacancy and, you know, getting you aligned and in a pool so that when a role does come up, we don't even have to advertise. So you'll feel free to email me. We can have a chat as well.
Cool. Sounds good. Thank you.
No worries.
And your email details, Emily, are on the website or on the end of this presentation?
I can give it to you now if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's Emily, EMILY, .O'Donnell, ODONNELL @hilti.com.
Okay. That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Thanks for the presentation. Just wondering, kind of from the perspective of a mechanical engineer, how significant like the non-structural components are in the work you guys do, and like possibly an example of like the diversity in that maybe?
Yeah, so as I said, I've got a background, I studied mechanical engineering at Auckland, so I think it's quite similar to what you guys do down there. You cover all areas of it, which is quite cool. So not all areas. So you cover a lot of the fire protection side. So that's something that even fire engineers through their training don't learn specifically. So you can, passive fire protection is a huge topic in construction right now. So that is a huge topic already that we want expertise in, and we do a lot of training in. So you can get a lot of training from Hilti about something that is actually a gap in the market, which is really cool. one of the first things I learned when I came here is that, well, we need more people that know about passive fire protection. So that's where you've got building services running through walls or partitions, as we call them, and you need to put something around it. So that could be, and it has to account for the building movement, it has to account for the fire rating, it has to account for buildability and the substrate. So it's yeah, that's one side of it. So the other side is MEP supports. So mechanical, electrical, and plumbing services need to be fixed to the structure. And New Zealand presents quite a unique landscape for that, so to speak, in that it's very, very seismic. There's a lot of seismic activity. So we have to do a lot of extra engineering in terms of how we fix those things back to the structure. And of course, a lot of that is defined in the codes, but there's a lot of innovative products and approaches and ways that it can be improved. So we sell the fixings. We're basically market leaders for the seismic fixing from the steel to the concrete. And we're also looking at, we're also developing our offering for all the steel elements that fix the services to the structure too. So we're working with BIM services to optimize all of the all the service elements into one optimized configuration, so they take up less space. You can fix them all onto one hanger system and then fix that back to the structure. So those are the main areas you'd be looking at. Also, I guess, partitions, so walls. So that's, walls shouldn't fall over either during an earthquake, or ceilings. So anything that's not a primary structural element, those are the areas that I was focusing on first. And it's not just doing the calcs or the design part. You get exposed to the commercial side of it too. So you learn about what people are actually doing and why, and then how to overcome those challenges.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for that. Really painted a better picture.
Cool. You're welcome.
Great. Any other questions? Cool. That might be us then, if that's okay, Yori and Chris.
So there's a question on chat. Can you see that one?
Can get it up.
Okay, from Kimberly. For the graduate role, while you mentioned that any masters is required, are there any preference for masters program?
I'd say probably more towards engineering business focus, just because that's the core of our business. But we have people come through who did, in public policy and anything. We're open to any masters. It's just more that you've gone through that process. But obviously, engineering is a huge focus of our business. So yeah, that would be great.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Any other questions from anyone? Sorry, I've got a bit of sound going on here out the window, a bit of engineering going on, I think.
No worries. Well, I guess everyone has my email. If I'm not sure if you'll send it out, if pop it in the chat, I could do that maybe. So yeah, feel free to reach out if there's any questions that pop up later, or if you're interested in a role potentially. And yeah, more than happy to catch up for a quick call. And yeah, thank you for all your time. Really appreciate you tuning in.
Emily, Kitty and Saab, thank you very much. That's been really informative, very comprehensive, and some good questions from the students. And to the students, just a reminder that the team here at GC Careers are here to help you in your decision making and in making applications, etc. So please don't hesitate to contact us. Hey, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Have a
you
good Monday.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah, bye guys.
Guys.
Thank you.
Sweet, Chris. I'm not sure if you'll get an email or I will about the recording.
Yep.
I'm would assume it will probably just go to me, but if it does go to you, just forward it to Sahar.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
Cool.
Hey, thanks, Aaron.
No
Thanks
problem.
very much.
Numbers got all right there in the end, actually. They say around 16.
Yeah. No, that was good. And for the majority of the time. So that was, that was great. Yeah, excellent.
So hopefully we can kind of keep those up.
Yeah.
I think these more known companies are always going to do better.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's got two more today. I got Calibre and Becker.
Yeah. No, that's excellent. Hey, thanks again for your help, Aaron. It's going really well. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, it's good. Hope it'll be good. I'm just glad everyone's like okay with it online, because there was a few questions about it.
Right.
I just flicked you an email. I meant to send it to Robin, but she's obviously away. It's just what I'm going to send out at the end of today, just to the companies from today. It's just so they've got some communication, and obviously they're not waiting 2 weeks until they get any information back from us.
Okay, fantastic. Oh, that's great. That's great. All right.
Cool. I will jump in the next session.
Next one. Yeah. Yep. Okay, Aaron. Hey, thank you. Thanks.
No problem. So, bye.